I'm Em. I'm originally from England and I've been living in Australia for 11 years. And a big part of my life is I've worked at LinkedIn for nearly 10 years. And I have a little girl called Evie who's 5 years old. Over the last 5 years, quite a bit's gone on. So I had a newborn Evie in lockdown. 4 months in, realized I was suffering from postnatal depression. I would say, like, kind of fast forward 3, 4 years later, I was diagnosed with that psychiatrist with ADHD. And then just over a year ago, my marriage broke down. So I've always done kind of self-development work. I've always had therapy, been doing therapy since I was 20. I just knew that this was going to be the kind of hardest part of my life so far, and I just wanted to get some guidance through it. And I knew there were areas, particularly confidence and boundary setting, that I wanted to work on. And yeah, that's why I came to you. And so for me, I think the big parts for me were boundary setting. Gave me a lot of confidence, the boundary setting work we did in the course. So we talked about kind of certain family members and how there had never been any boundaries. It wasn't a household full of boundaries. There was one example that we worked on together with a family member where I set quite a firm boundary, which I'd never done before. I'd always used really emotional communication. I set a really calm, firm boundary and said, I want you to respect that boundary. And for the first time in 36 years, that person actually accepted the boundary and never brought that topic up again. And it gave me this feeling of confidence of, wow, I didn't have to scream, I didn't have to get upset, I didn't have to get emotional. Like, I just really calmly set this boundary and that person just said okay. And it was a real kind of eye opener for me that the way I'd been operating before with family hadn't necessarily been working, and it caused quite a lot of grief and pain. I think because the sessions, they helped me slow down. They helped me slow down and acknowledge what I was feeling and what I needed to do to get past that feeling. And I started just putting myself out there more. So I think in one of the sessions I was saying to you, I was going to reach out to more senior stakeholders within my customer base. And I started doing it and I started getting meetings. And it just gave me the confidence of, like, okay, I can get in front of these people, but also it's very easy at LinkedIn. You're surrounded by really smart, intelligent people everywhere you look, and you can start to feel like you're not smart and you don't know what you're talking about. But I had to remind myself, and we did that in the sessions around, I've worked here for 10 years. And it just kind of gave me that confidence and that reminder to reach out to these people and actually book meetings and then go and have normal human conversations with them and understand what they're trying to do in their organization. So that was a big shift for me, and I saw a lot of results come off the back of that. It's just helped me slow down and think about what's important for me and how do I look after myself. But I think I went into motherhood with really high standards of myself. I think I came to you and said, in a really vulnerable, open moment, sometimes I feel like I'm in prison being a parent. The work we did around kind of resetting expectations and reframing what my ideal life was. And I don't know if we spoke about it, but after our sessions, I very much reflected on, like, why do I feel like I'm in prison? And I started to look at the things I was doing with Evie on the weekends, and they were all about her. They were every play date for her. I was looking at it and I was thinking, yeah, no wonder I feel like I'm in prison. Like, there's not one thing in there for me. And I think as a mother or as a parent, you're almost told, like, it's the most selfless job in the world. You put your kid first. And because I hadn't necessarily always been put first myself, I'd prioritize putting her first, but it meant I'd totally left myself out of it and no self-care. And so I started, I think, in the sessions talking around, like, the things I could do with Evie. What could we do together that both of us liked? I just started looking at things that I love, and because I've been just reframing what motherhood looks like for me and doing it my way, I just booked a trip for us to go to the Gold Coast, to go to Wet and Wild. I just feel like a kid with her, and we've just been having this bond talking about our holiday, and we're actually going to Raging Waters tomorrow, and I'm happy seeing her happy. And it's just it's kind of just scrapping what everyone has ever told you and just going with what feels natural to you and what's authentic to you. I'm really grateful because you helped me do that, and the girls in the course helped me do that. I just was like, wow, this is like a new life for me now. And it was almost just like lack of confidence to do that And then once I'd done it, like I just haven't stopped. The course helped me shift my mindset because all of it was in my head. But it just gave me that confidence to reframe it all. I think being part of a group is really beautiful because to sit there and go, wow, like I'm not the only one that's gone through this and other people go through this, and it kind of it makes you feel less isolated. So I think the group part is really incredible. I would highly recommend it and I would always do it again.